on my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held and slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. So they gave them second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Time gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over is now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. So they games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I had today.
Oh, good morning. How you doing? This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern, and yeah, this is One Street Over, getting into it this morning with you. And you can follow us on WSGI. I'm trying to get my personal Facebook page going, and it's a little sluggish this morning, but that's okay. We'll get it going here. And I don't know, you might have noticed these new digs here. We have got this new beautiful, beautiful wall. Thank you, LU. This is absolutely fabulous. And this was a big surprise. We walked in here this morning, and we're like, what is going on? This is so stinking cool. But we are enjoying this new background. This is very beautiful. Ebenezer Broadcasting taking good care of us this morning. And today is the third Monday. So this is the day we typically visit with Caleb Stratton comes in here, but he's goofing off. He's out of town. So
training today.
yeah, he told me. He said, "Well, I'm gonna have to send Shapton in. Are you? Because he's like, this is tough.
So he's a sergeant. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
what are you?
So I'm just an officer. I'm the Robertson County officer.
Okay, so you are our wildlife resource officer, like he used to be, and then he got all promoted up.
He did. He went up the chain.
And he went up the chain of command, and so then you took it over. But this is Jason Shapton. So if you have not met him, if you make a call to the Wildlife Resource Office, if you have a need, this is typically the gentleman you're going to find pulling into your driveway in the little cool truck.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
y'all's
Yes, ma'am.
trucks, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm the guy in the green truck.
There you go. It's a lot of fun. How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing this part-time since 2017 and then full-time since 2021.
Okay.
So it took me a little while to get hired on, and I tried to do this way back early in my career, and then life got in the way, and I got law enforcement, and I've been in law enforcement for 20 years. And then I was lucky enough, my wife was let me quit my job and go back to school, and I was able to get hired on. So living the dream. I tell you what, this is my favorite job I've ever had. So
I know, and I get that from Caleb, and I get such a kick out of you guys because he's just always giddy when he's in here. Well, except $30 during boat season.
Be part of the gig club.
You know, that's kind of like, oh, that's the only downside is boat season. But
yes, ma'am. That's not our favorite. I mean, so some guys, their favorite, if you like the wildlife side of things, then that's my favorite side of the house.
Sure. And so as soon as he sits down, and I'm just like in awe of Evan.
It is racing season here in Middle Tennessee, specifically here
by in here. We're just loving it. So I'm just enjoying
it. It's like an old cabin feel or something.
I love it.
Some deer heads and some ducks and fish.
And we got new chairs. I'm just like, oh my goodness, what a big old Monday gift. But anyway, so thank you for joining us. This is One Street Over. But
right now they're making some track improvements.
You know, we live
just go ahead and get back on the air with us and say,
we are so blessed
save the date. We're thinking the first official race will be first or second week in April. They're still going to have that family pack of tickets for $40.
We've tried to put bridges across it a couple
of times
in
for $40 price.
We're right at the end.
No alcohol served at the track. That's very unusual. So that means it is completely
family
friendly. You can bring your family out every Saturday evening.
We just can't.
Starting very soon, probably the first or second weekend in April.
And we're like,
if you need to know more, you can follow them at Highland Ridge
Speedway. So we don't spend as much time
on social media.
But
it's Veterans Motorplex
615-643-8255.
And I love hiking over there. And but nonetheless,
Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. When you get out there to the races, you tell them you sent you.
We weren't there, but we see somebody on the hillside with flashlights about 8:30 Sunday night, and so there's been just all kinds of things. Are they doing something nefarious over there because we can't be over there? And we welcome people to come fish. We're very blessed. We feel like we're stewards of that. And we want you to fish and enjoy it. And you can't hunt. I'm not going to have you shooting at the house, you know. But I let my kids hunt. But that's
your
it.
Space for spring.
And but then you told me, and we'll have coon hunters that'll run through there. You know,
she specializes in a lot of things. But that is something that she is
But you
awesome
said they
at,
might
and
be
I'm so
looking for
excited about having her
arrowheads.
come in.
Sometimes I've run into
And
that.
I've never
Now I'm a do-it-yourselfer, so she's
but
going to
explain
do
what you meant by that.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, I'm no expert, of course, but I've got friends that do it, and I run into a lot of people that do it. But a lot of times they'll walk it down the creeks, so they'll look for old arrowheads and stuff that have eroded out of the banks and they've washed down the creeks. But they'll also, too, a lot of times, sometimes with permission, sometimes without, they'll go up on the higher side of the hillside above a river.
She can use the things that you have already in stock. And if you're
because they wouldn't have it down to low spots where they get flooded out, so they'd have it up high above the river, and then they would be able to go down and get water and hunt and everything else and not have their camps destroyed by the floods.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that we were talking about different possibilities, but you never know what people are doing. I mean, could be looking for mushrooms this time of year. There's a lot of morels out right now. So, I mean, there's a plethora of reasons that, unfortunately, someone could be up there with a flashlight, but unfortunately, a lot of times, some people will sneak around at night trying to go on private property. Yeah, that's not good.
Whoever's doing that on our property, please don't do that.
If you think you want to check out
just ask us and you can go poke around, but we just don't want you out there. Not because it upsets our animals or
whatever it is you're looking for. If you've got kiddos and you need to give them the love of instruments and music.
Okay, we've got something running in the background here. I'm just hearing from Lee Marie, so we're fixing that right now. So there you go. We had, and that is one thing, you know, we just, you don't really know how to take care of those things, and I'm not going to call y'all in the middle of the night on something like that.
I mean, calls during the daytime, but I mean, if I don't
you hate to do that though.
But sometimes I'm out in the evening or at night. Sometimes I mean, they never know what's going on in the county. So I mean, yeah, if you got something like that, I'm more than happy. Anybody is Caleb, myself, is more than happy to go check it out.
We are very gracious because I would hate to call it. Well, the first time we noticed it was Easter Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were outside, you know, late at night. We were just kind of sitting there, and we were like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah.
You know, and so anyway, well, and you know, and that's one thing. Just I don't know too many property owners that are like, stay off my land. But if you will just let us know what you want to do, we're glad for you to. And, you know, we're very thankful that we get to live there. And so we don't mind sharing it at all, but just not in the middle of the night.
No, I completely understand. You want to know who's out there.
Well, and we get up super early.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
So we go to bed very early. And so if you upset our dogs, it's not fun. But now you had mentioned too that it's turkey season.
It is. So
I didn't realize that. That snuck up on me. Okay.
So Saturday, yesterday, or I'm sorry, 2 days ago, was the opening of the statewide turkey season.
Okay.
And we've been in full swing of that, and been super busy. I've been up several early mornings this weekend and answering calls over the county. But we had a very successful weekend turkey season. So it'll stretch until about the end of May. I think it's the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a long turkey season. I think when I looked at the harvest report this morning, I think Robertson County had killed nearly 200 birds.
Really?
So yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
and what can I kill? Only
only two.
What can I harvest?
Two bearded turkeys.
Okay.
So and only one can be a Jake, which is a kind of a juvenile male turkey.
Okay.
But I mean just the limits too, and like I said, it'll stretch until end of May.
And we just if we harvest a turkey, then we just need to report it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Instantly, you tag before you drag is what we call it.
Okay.
So before you even move or take pictures or anything, as soon as you know that turkey's on the ground, same way with the deer, you should get on your phone and go ahead and report that harvest.
Okay, you can tell I don't hunt.
Yes, ma'am. No, that's all right.
I grew up on a livestock farm.
Yes, ma'am.
We didn't have any need to hunt.
Sure.
We had hogs, and we would trade pork for beef at the slaughterhouse,
yes,
and we never wanted for any kind of meat. But now that we have all this fresh, meat running around my yard, I keep expecting my family to harvest us some deer meat or some
turkeys are wonderful.
Well, and that's one thing Caleb tells me. He says, "Oh my goodness, once you have a wild turkey," he says, "you'll just be amazed."
Oh yeah,
because it's so much better.
Everything loves a turkey.
Okay, all right.
Including all the predators and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that a turkey even makes it to adulthood because everything loves to eat a turkey out there. So
isn't that something?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now tell me, and we're talking with Jason Shapton. He is our wildlife resource officer for Robertson County. We have Caleb in here all the time. He is the regional sergeant.
It's like a district sergeant.
District
yes,
sergeant. I always get the regional and the district, but it's
That's
a sergeant.
right.
He's a sergeant.
Yes, ma'am.
He's our district sergeant, and he's in training today. But on the third Monday, we always like visiting because there's always something going on.
There is.
Our wildlife, the hunting and the fishing and all of those things, it's so big, and so we just can't get enough hearing from you guys because we also have when's Free Fishing Day coming up?
I had to look and see. I know it's normally in June. But
is it in June?
Well, no, it might be July. I'm sorry, I might be mistaken. Okay. I need to look it up and see.
I couldn't remember
yes,
when
ma'am.
it is because that's when they have is that the day that they have the fishing thing?
So
the park?
Yes, ma'am. So
we went last year. My grandson just loved it.
It's great.
Yeah.
The city of Springfield does an amazing job out there. So they'll a lot of times, we'll bring in catfish and we'll put it in there about a week or two before the event occurs, and so they're nice and hungry when the kids get there to cast out there, and they're able to catch a bunch of catfish and have prizes and everything.
They had bass in there too, I think last year. Didn't they
do. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We don't stock them in there, but there are bass and bluegill and other fish in there as well.
Okay, so I didn't know the catfish is what you put in there because that you have to fish those different. It's so interesting because I told Caleb I grew up with we had two catfish ponds as a kid, and so I got spoiled to fishing. If you wanted fish, you just threw some food out there and just cast out over them and reel into them, and they just ran into it.
Well, there's a lot of fishing going on right now in the county for sure. So just like turkey hunting, I mean, there's a lot of people out there fishing. I mean, we've had some beautiful weather, and the fish are biting out there. So
good.
I've checked a lot of people on Sulphur Fork Creek and the Red River and everywhere in between. So
right there at the corner of my property is a hot little fishing spot.
Oh yeah, yes ma'am.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have to report your fish, your catch?
You do not, no ma'am.
I didn't think so.
You just have to stay within the limits. So,
okay, what are the limits?
So it just depends on what species it is, but it's all found in our Tennessee Wildlife, either in our book or online.
Okay.
So there's no specific as far as everything here follows the statewide limits. Sometimes different reservoirs might have reservoir specific limits. They might have might let you catch more crappie or less crappie, for an example. You know what I mean? So you just have to make sure you read the book or go online and download our PDF, and that way you're aware of all the limits and sizes and everything else. So.
Okay. Well, very good. Very easy. And we're talking with Jason Shapton. He is our wildlife resource officer here in Robertson County. Any of the questions that you might have, just reach out to him. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
There's several ways. You either email at jason.shapton@tn.gov or by phone. So and here. And like I said, there's several different ways you can call our main office, and they'll get you in touch with me. So
okay, very good. If you have any concerns, if you have people that are poking around your property, and you're like, hey, in the middle of the night,
well, especially right now with turkey season, I've had a lot of calls about people unfortunately trespassing other people's property and shooting turkeys where they shouldn't be shooting turkeys at. So yes, ma'am.
We have when we get back into deer season, we got a Great Dane.
Okay.
It's a fawn colored Great Dane. It's a tan.
Sure.
And we're going to have to put an orange vest on that boy. Because, deer season, he looks like a deer.
Oh, let's hope that's not the case. Yeah,
he's tall. Now, we keep him pretty,
yes, ma'am.
pretty tightly to the house and stuff. So, but every now and then he could, wander off, And I told my husband, I said, man, we're going to get him an orange vest. It says not a deer.
Well, let's hope people are smart enough not to mistake that, because that'd be if they're out there, thinking that's a deer, then something's wrong.
You know how it can be sometimes.
It can.
I thought about that the other day. I was watching him because he's getting so tall, and I'm like, man, I'm going to have to get you a vest. Anyway.
Well, I guess that's why we have jobs, because otherwise, if all people, did the right thing.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break. We're talking with Jason Shapton. He is our wildlife resource officer here in Robertson County. And yes, we're enjoying the new background, Ebenezer Broadcasting. I keep telling her, but I never know what I'm going to come into, because they're constantly trying to improve this place, and they've done just an incredible job. And so I walked in this morning to new walls and new chairs. I just feel so fancy. Thank you. Thank you, Ebenezer Broadcasting, and all the work that you're doing to keep the WSGI. I mean, this is a worldwide Christian broadcast studio. This one and the one across the hall there, the Spanish-speaking one. It's just cool. It's just cool to be a part of it, so thank you. And we want you to continue to be a part of it. Listen to us at 1100 WSGI on radio, or just check us out online, WSGI. And we want you to check out our sponsors. This is so cool. We've got the old Highland Rim Speedway is Veterans Motorplex. This is racing season, but they've been a little delayed because they're making improvements on the track, and it looks wonderful. Now they're putting out some video now. They're getting ready. Haven't gotten the official word from Jerry exactly when that first race is going to happen. They did a practice day this weekend, and so, it's looking pretty good. I'm not sure we're going to be racing this weekend, but I'll get a confirmation from Jerry, and I'll let you know tomorrow. But it's looking real good. It's getting close. So if you're ready for some racing here in Robertson County, oh my goodness, and all the improvements they've done at that track, it looks fabulous. And they're going to have that $40 ticket where you can take your entire family for $40, up to 6 kids, 2 adults, $40 ticket price, great concession stand, no alcohol served, so it's a very family-friendly environment. They're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. If you have questions, you can give them a call at 615-430-3135, 430-3135. And just remember, too, to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway, because that's the social media page. But when you get there, you'll see that big Veterans Motorplex, and you'll know you're in the right place. Get ready for some racing, guys. We're just about there. It's going to be a good season. Hope you'll be a part of it. And when you get by there, always let them know that you turned Cincha. And we are going to continue on with our Wildlife Resource Officer, Jason Shapton. What do we need to cover? What would you say people need to know about this month?
This month, like I said, turkey season is one of the biggest things that's going on this month. But of course, a lot of people are, with the warmer weather and beautiful days, a lot of people will be out probably canoeing and kayaking and doing different stuff, starting up. And I know that's something I want to do for sure. So biggest thing is always bring your life jacket with you. You always, obviously kids 12 and under have to wear it at all times when they're on the river or on a lake somewhere. But yeah, no, that's one of the biggest things coming up. So.
Well, and I just. When you talk about kayaking and stuff, if I were to put in right there where I live on Carrs Creek, right where it meets Sulphur Fork, could I kayak down through there? Is it deep enough?
That's a good question. It probably depends on the water levels. Different times of year. So obviously with a little bit of a rain, everything kind of comes up a little higher. Obviously you don't want to go in it's like a flood stage or something like that. But yeah, no. Summertime is obviously lower, so just obviously you need to check the water conditions and.
People don't realize how treacherous those creek waters can be.
It's incredible.
When we have neighbors that are building a home, and they've got it positioned just beautifully where they're going to build. I'm excited to see what they're putting together, but they can't really go any further down the hill than where they are.
Okay.
They'll be getting into the floodplain.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
People don't realize. They're like, well, the creek's all the way over there. I'm like, oh, you just wait. You haven't seen it.
Yes.
And, it floods. I've seen, if you know the lay of where my property, I've seen it get up on the hill coming up toward our house. Sure. That whole thing turns into a lake because we're at the end of the creek. And then I have some friends that have property at the beginning of Carrs Creek, and they never flood.
Oh, yeah.
But it's where it comes into Sulphur Fork,
sure.
Where it floods so terrible. But it's, you just have to be mindful of that stuff. That can be some treacherous water.
It's always amazing to me too. Unfortunately, there is some trash in some of those creeks, especially when it floods. Stuff comes in there. But it's always amazing to me. I'll go be patrolling a river or something. You'll look up and you'll see a couch cushion or something way up in a tree, and that at one point that water got that high. Yeah. It's pretty amazing to think about. So
yeah. Well, we have the brace on this side of the creek where we had our bridge.
Yes, ma'am.
We tell people that's how high the bridge was, and it took it down. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Was that the 2010 flood, or is that?
Oh, no, it's one post that. We built one actually that year.
Okay.
And then we had it for about 3 years, and it started taking it down. And we were high enough, but the other side of the bank washed out.
Oh, yeah.
And we were, I don't know how, we were way off the bank, but it still washed out. It's crazy.
It's amazing what
water
and erosion can do. Yes,
you
ma'am.
better believe it.
Yeah, respect the water for sure, because people go out sometimes, even when it's a little higher than they normally think it is, and they're thinking it'd be a good float. I mean, you get stuck in a tree that's falling in the water, they call it a strainer, and you can get pushed up under it, just in a heartbeat. So
dangerous.
You have to be careful. You always wear your life jacket if you can. So
well, and it's something about, I watch my animals during when it's at flood stage, because I know they're used to going down and playing in the creek, and I don't know, they instinctively have more sense than us and stuff like that, though. Maybe
they might.
It's kind of funny, but anyway,
it's kind of built in their DNA.
I guess. I don't know. God did a good job of that.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just those of us who have free will that sometimes are stupid. But
we got that day off and we want to go no matter what.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. I'm going.
Yes, ma'am.
But we're at that time of the year. If you see something that, if you see that water coming across, you just don't drive across it. In my traffic reporter days, how many times we had people that were just like, oh, I can drive across that. And all you got to do is for your car to catch float.
Oh,
you're out.
It happens quick.
And it does. Yes, very quick. And so many tragic stories that I had to cover were things like that. People thought they were,
oh, yeah.
It's okay. It's
or I'm in a big truck. I can make it.
Yeah, exactly. And next thing you know, there's a water rescue going on.
Yes, ma'am.
And what else we need to cover? Anything that you're thinking on right now that we need to share with people?
Like I said, the biggest thing, turkey season. That's kind of taken all of my attention right now, because it's nonstop. Like I said, we had nearly 200 turkeys harvested in the county, and then I think the state this weekend, I want to say even Saturday, maybe it was over 7,000 turkeys.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, wow.
So we've moved the season back or forward, I should say, or back. Normally it was started like the last weekend in March, but then now it's starting like the second weekend in April. So they're trying to give the turkeys more time to kind of do their thing. Yeah, do their thing, and like I said, they moved the limit down from 3 to 2 this year, but I think next year they're proposing maybe going back to 3 turkeys. So we'll see what happens. That might be an update at a later time. They're thinking about changing. They're always kind of tweaking the season a little bit, trying to see what works out well and what's best for the turkeys. So
thinking about turkey season and everything, I'll tell you one thing that I'm really interested in right now is what's happening with our eagle population.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, we have some eagles that are frequently seen on our property now.
Ma'am. Oh, we have a lot that just stay here year round.
And I'm wanting to make a nest right now so bad. We have. Yeah. I'm from the Kentucky Lake region.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm from Mayfield, Kentucky, and the farm we know where turkeys nest. So we'll just leave it at that.
Sure.
And we can visit them very often, and because they have migrated off of the LBL, Land Between the Lakes, where they were, they took them there, and then as the population grew, they just started taking out into the other areas, and so they've ended up on many farms, so we've been very blessed to be able to watch eagles, and so I would love to have a pair of eagles.
It is fun.
It's the coolest thing.
It is.
It is the coolest thing.
I took a trip up the Red River last Sunday, and we have some jet boats, and it's fun. I took a jet boat, and I launched right there, our Adams boat ramp right there, Red River Canoe, and I went upstream as far as I could, and I ran into an eagle up there. It's always neat. It's always neat seeing eagles. And like I said, there's a lot of places around here that they're around, and people see them all the time. So I'm happy to see that. I'm curious about the nest. Do you know for sure where there are a few nests that you've spotted? There's a couple nests on some private property that I know of. But it's they can nest just about anywhere. So and it's pretty distinctive nest. You see real large.
Miss it.
Yeah. Yes. So especially in trees that overlook lakes or rivers or ponds. That's their favorite spots. So
when we first started seeing them a couple of years ago, we intentionally went and we went across the creek and just hiked and looked and looked to see if there was a nest. We did not see anything on our property.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm with the constant, just as time goes on, how often do they nest every year, eagles? Do you know?
Obviously, I think they nest every year, but I'm not an expert on eagles. I hate to say, I'm sure they use the same nests, a lot of times because they build those huge nests. So I'm sure they obviously,
the ones that we watch back home. Oh yeah, they've been there for years.
Yep.
I mean,
the same ones.
Probably 10, 15 years. I don't know how long they've been there.
Ma'am.
They've been over there over. They've been a long time.
Probably takes a long time to construct those nests.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of material they move up there. So
they're massive.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I've been watching to see because as their hatchlings fly the nest, they've got to have somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're hoping. And the ones we've been watching on our property seem to be relatively young.
Yes, ma'am.
They're on the smaller side.
Juvenile side, yes,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And we also thought that after the tornado came through the land between the lake region, we figured it might upset some nests.
Probably did.
And kind of wonder about if that kind of moves some of them around too. But you just never know.
Of course, they'll expand their population. So I'm sure once those juveniles leave the nest, I'm sure they're expanding the range, and they're going different places and building different nests. And
it's fun.
It's
fun to watch. I love eagles, and I want a nesting pair so bad on the creek right there. And I keep thinking, I'm like, this is a good spot. It's a really good spot.
I love when we put a camera up in the nest and able to watch the whole process. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I know there's some live feeds from obviously if you Google it and look, there's different places where they've set cameras up in different nests, and you can kind of watch the progression of the eagles.
Interesting.
From egg to a little hatchling to flying out of the nest. So
fun. I love all this stuff. It's a lot of fun. You do have the dream job.
Oh yeah, I tell you, I pinch myself all the time. I tell you what, sometimes I work and I don't even realize I'm working. So I work way more hours than I actually report on my timesheet because
you love it.
Oh, I mean, I access Roberts County is one of the most beautiful places around.
It really
in
is.
Some areas, you get off the beaten path, and it's amazing. So I love every bit of it. If it doesn't show on my face already, I should have done this 20 years ago. So I'm very, very grateful to be here now. So
well, that's good, and I'm thrilled that we have you and Caleb here in our area because y'all love what you do, and that's apparent. And so it just makes it easier to call on y'all when we need you.
Yeah, no.
So this is a question I always like to ask Caleb. What's one of the weirdest things you've had to go out on? What's the weirdest call? And you're like, okay, that's not.
I don't know. Some of the weirdest stuff involve people. I hate to say,
really? Not animals.
Yeah, no. I wish it was animals. It's always involving people. I hate to say. So I've had to handle some very strange situations that that
you're like,
I wasn't expecting that to handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's some of the craziest stuff. People you have to, especially in the boating season, like I know it's Caleb's favorite season, but people have a little alcohol and they don't want to act right. So
so. It's like there's a comedian that says, when you get out on the lake, they're either drunk or 12 when they're driving the boat, and so you just want to stay out of their way.
It blows me away. I've boated all my life, and I guess I've never seen that side of it. Of course, you start doing this, and you're stopping people and talking to people and making sure they're being safe, and it's amazing how much people will just go out the lake and just don't think there's any rules out there. Like like the highway, there's rules. They think they get in the water, and they kind of do whatever you want. And no. There's still rules and laws to follow. So.
And I'll just this is one thing that Caleb and I talked about last year. If you do kayak and you get out on the lake, go invest in one of those bike flags to put on the back of your kayak. Yep. Because if you're boating on the lake and you're in a kayak, they can't see you. If they're in one of the boats that come up in the front, and if you've got that flag, because I mean there was at least one
fatality last year.
Last year where somebody was in a kayak, and I have some friends that kayak.
Priest.
Yeah, and they're like, well, I never really thought about that. And that's a real simple thing you can do to make you stand out is put one of those, those long bike flags that we used to wear. They were that was a thing in the 70s. We're like, I'd have a flag.
Yep.
And because that was just made us look cool.
Oh, it is.
But it's so practical to let people see you if you're in one of those kayaks, those low boats like that, or a canoe, something where you could get ran over on the lake by one of these big boats. Put one of those flags on your boat. And I mean, a little fishing boat, same thing.
Yeah.
Man, just put a flag on there, a tall flag, so people can see you.
I guess the big thing
it may really save you.
Just be careful. If it's inclement weather or it's foggy out or it's something like that, especially if you're in like a paddle craft, you have to be careful because it might not be a good day to go across the lake. Especially in bad conditions. You might want to stay closer to shore. Because it's crazy. You should have to worry about other people, but you do kind of like driving. It's not really what you're driving. You're kind of watching out for everybody else. So
it's like when you learn to drive a motorcycle. They say the first thing, if you ride a bike, if you run, if you are out there and you're not a car, you need to look at the vehicles around you as if they can't see you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's one thing. And on boating is the same way. When I heard about that kayak accident, and I have seen people put those flags on, but not everybody. And it's just something people I don't think about. And it just a real simple way, if you've got a low profile vehicle on the lake, to let yourself be seen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but anything we're missing, I know Lee Marie will come bouncing in here in a minute. We're going to talk to Lee Marie. She's opening a new business, and so she wanted some time.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you know Lee Marie is there?
I don't know if I do or not.
She does some radio here. Okay. She does the Go Show on Wednesday.
I hate to say
she fills in for me.
I'm still pretty new, so I'm getting to know everything.
From?
So I'm from Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay.
But my wife was from White House, so we end up moving back here. And like I said, I ended up working for the White House Police Department and the Roberts County Sheriff's Office, and I was able to finally go back to school and finish up, and was able to get hired on here. Oh yeah, and then be able to come back to Robertson County, which is just a dream, because it doesn't work out like that most of the time. Most of the time you're put in a county somewhere far away from home, and and someone could be in a county for 30 years, and retire here.
Yeah.
Someone could get in and at 23 and be here their whole career.
Yeah, you ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I'll be here till I retire. So I'm a little older, so it won't take a long time, but I still got another 20 years probably. So
see, there you go. And that's one thing Caleb was talking about, the guy that was before him. He's like, when you going to retire?
Oh, Mike Murdoch? Yeah. Everybody knows Mike Murdoch. He was a great game warden, and everybody loved him. I don't think I've ever heard a bad story about him, but that's the same thing. He was here, I think, almost 30 years. I mean, that's a long time.
Yes, it is.
So he came here, from a different area, fell in love with the county, and just stayed. So, and that's the problem, and not a problem, but it's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have.
But if you want to move back home, you definitely have to, you kind of get lucky sometimes. So I won the lottery for sure.
Very good. And I don't think Lee Marie's here yet, so we'll just keep talking. You got a big family? You have kids?
I do. Yes, ma'am. So
I've
got a son and a daughter. So
awesome.
My son's about to go to college. He's going to UT Martin this fall. Yeah. He's hoping to do the exact same thing. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got to kind of see me, get excited about it, and he kind of hears about what I do, and he really enjoys it. So.
That's great. UT Martin's a great school.
Oh, it is. That is. That's where I finished up at. Yep.
Yeah. We went to basketball camp there.
Okay.
But again, years ago, the 70s.
Yeah. Yep.
And but that's really neat. Yeah. But I just love what you guys do, and so we got turkey season ending. You said when? I
believe it's May 26th.
Okay.
I think so.
And what's next after that?
So the next, it'll be fishing pretty much. Yeah, until then into boating season, and then September 1st will be rolling into some of the dove season and everything else, and then we'll start rolling into all the rest of the archery season, and there's some early duck and goose season there too, and then muzzleloader, rifle, and. Well, it'll keep on going.
And I was talking to Caleb about, is there a season for, like, we sometimes have raccoon hunters on our property that'll come across. Is there a time that they can hunt those and a time they can't?
There is. Off the top of my head, I can tell you. I had to look at my book, but yes, there is. It's normally coincides with the fall and the winter, most of the time. And then because in the spring, normally they're raising their young and whatnot, and then
and there are certain animals you don't want to harvest in the heat because they're just they got fleas and all kinds of stuff.
Most of the coon hunting isn't so much about killing the raccoon. I mean, obviously people do, but it's more working the dogs and running them and watching them tree a coon, and it's just a lot of fun to see.
Okay.
So it's an art. It's kind of, I hate to say, it's kind of a something that's kind of going away a little bit, I don't know if the next generation, it's just getting harder to do it too. There's less big tracts of land around here to run your dogs, and dogs don't know property lines. So, it's,
true.
You have conflicts with different people, and everything's cut up nowadays. So
people like me go, will you not hunt on the property?
I understand. No, I understand.
Before we go, what about coyotes? How big of a coyote problem do we have?
I mean, they're out there. I mean, obviously
we're hearing them more and more, it seems like.
You hear them. I mean, there's a lot of them, but they've been here for a long time, and I mean, there's a balance that's struck a lot of times. Their population will flux just like everything else will, up and down, depending on their food supply or weather conditions. I mean, all kinds of different habitat and whatnot. But season is year round on them, so a lot of people hunt them year round.
We hear them from time to time. We used to let our dogs run more, but they're constructing on the plant next door, and so we have to keep them a little more confined. Sure. And when our dogs are out a little more rambunctious, we don't hear about them. But without them being out there, we're hearing more coyote activity.
And you will. And like I said, I mean, it's just one of those things. They ebb and flow a little bit, but they definitely, people need to harvest them. I'm appreciative of people that do go out and hunt them. There's a lot of people that enjoy predator hunting, so they'll go out there with electronic calls and lure in, coyotes and bobcats and different things, and then obviously harvest them. So
I still want a pet bobcat.
I do too. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Yeah, I don't think I'd probably do too well though. They're pretty wild.
That's what everybody tells me. They said, "LaVern, that thing will eat your face off."
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they're so cute. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
No problem. Yes, ma'am. No, it was a pleasure.
Our wildlife resource officer. It's turkey season. Behave yourself and be nice when boating season starts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll try to make it next month with Caleb. He'll come on in here. Maybe both of y'all can come on in.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Jason.
it. Yes,
God bless you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. This is one street over as we let Jason slide out. Lee Marie's going to come on in here because she's got something very important to tell you about. She's got a new business starting up. And as she gets set, I'm going to talk to you about Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. They changed the name a few months ago, but guess what? They're still part of the wonderful Exit Tree. And you can reach out to them anytime you want. Barry and Rebecca, you can call Rebecca at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and contact them about anything. If you want to talk to them about what's going on in Robertson County, that's their specialty because they're cross-Plainians. They've been there for nearly 30 years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, of course. So they can help you out with whatever your needs might be in the realty community. You've got a marketer that you can tap into with Barry. He was a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 plus years up in Nashville. He brings that marketing expertise to the table. Can you having a marketer on your team when you're trying to sell property? That's priceless, guys. And he can really help you out. And, of course, Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. What they did is they combined her realty office in White House, his brokerage office here in Springfield. They're on the downtown square. But they combined those two offices to bring you a new branch in the Exit Tree. Same great team, new name, Exit Prime Realty. If you got somebody that is wanting to mentor into being a realtor, they're a great couple to talk to about learning how to do that. All the things in real estate, they got you covered. And, of course, Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, they will be a part of that. They're part of the board, founding sponsors of the festival, and it's coming up May 17th and 18th. They will be there, but don't wait until the festival to talk to them. Reach out to them today at Exit Prime Realty. Barry and Rebecca Richards, longtime sponsors of this program, and when you talk to them, please let them know you from Joe. Lee Maria Stairs in the house. What is going on, sister? I am hang on. You switched mics on me here. Okay, here we go. We got you on the right. Now you can say hello.
All right. Good morning, Miss LaVern.
Good morning. What about these? Look at these walls.
I love it.
Did you know he did these?
No, I did not. I tuned in to the show.
Surprise.
And you know what? It reminded me of the WDVL days, I thought, oh, wait, did I click on an old show? And then I saw it. I love it.
Well, he's been telling me, because, they make improvements. They're constantly. I know we'll go, okay, this is this, and we'll tell you something different about we need to listen here or there, because they're constantly working to improve it. This is a worldwide Christian broadcast company. So proud to be a part of it, and so thankful they let me be a part of it here. Love what they're doing. I love these walls. I may have to do this in my living room. I love it because it's got that cabin feel, and this, I'm getting ready to see, Katie did it designs. I kind of like this. I've been talking to her. She's going to help me and all that. And I'm like, what do you think about this, Katie? But we'll talk about her a little bit more on Thursday. We need to talk about you. What are you up to?
Well, it's so funny that this opened.
Yes.
This spot, because I told God, you're the foreman on this project. For the whole damn studio.
You're letting God work this out. Yeah.
And so, when I had called you, I think last week and said, is there an opening before my studio opens?
Slammed.
And you were like full. And I go, why didn't I think of it sooner? Yeah. But then last night when I got the text saying, there's an opening tomorrow, I thought, of course there is. Thank you, Lord.
I love it.
Yeah. So when you put God in charge of things, there you go. So yes, it is well with my soul. See that? Yes.
I like that a lot. I want that shirt.
And did you see online that Pop made a big...
I saw that. That is so cool. It's like a little well. Where are you going to put that?
It's already in the window.
It's in the window.
Yeah, and it even has a turner thing that rotates, and you can bring up a bucket. So that's what this bucket is going to be for, because whether it be prayer requests or just like a scripture card or whatever, we'll be using it for like the chance to wins that we're going to have on the first Friday night market night.
Okay.
So that's when we're going to have a grand opening, like ribbon cutting is right before that Friday night market.
Okay.
So people are already going to be there, and we're going to have the studio open that Friday night as well, so people can come in and see it and stuff like that. But tomorrow is the big day that the classes start.
I'm so excited for you. So proud of you. And so, okay, everybody that's going there, like, what are they talking about? Explain to them, because we haven't really unpacked what you're doing.
All right.
Tell them who you are and what you do in case they don't really understand why you're doing this and why because I mean, that's your expertise. So unpack it for them.
Sure.
Unpack it for them.
All right. So my name is Lee Marie Astaire, and I go by Lee Marie as a first name. And the dance studio is called Well in the Square, because I really want to stress wellness, because dance is so good for so many parts of our bodies and minds. So it is called Well in the Square. So the website will be wellinthesquare.com. And I used to teach dance for many, many years. And when I first got to town, I thought that's what God wanted me to do. And it wasn't the timing. God was like, no, radio. And I was like, random, but okay. Because when God speaks, you better listen.
Yeah. You're a natural at it. You do an excellent job.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
It is, to God be the glory, because I was scared to death the first time I had to fill in. I really was. Yeah. So it's completely a God thing, because I'm not nervous anymore.
I just got to say, too, Ilyu was the one insisting. Because it was so funny, because Ilya Maldonado, he's the president of Ebenezer Broadcasting. And so Lee Marie came in. She goes, I want to help produce your show. And we've been friends. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I mean, she just, I couldn't pay her anything. And she just volunteered because she wanted to learn it. And as I was needing somebody to fill in, because I can't be here every single day, but we like to make sure One Street Over still goes, because it's about keeping you up to date on what's going on in the community. And you were talking about different people that were going to fill in, and Yulia goes, you are, to her, you're going to do it. I mean, he was like, you're going to do it. And she was like, what? So good job, Ilya.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had the vision.
Well, I think God directs people.
That's
He's
right.
a minister.
There you go.
There you go. He's pretty plugged in.
And I will say, I didn't start helping you to learn the biz. I started helping you because I was praying to God for what ministry do you want me to be involved with? Because I kept trying different things, and God's like, no. And God said, LaVern. And I said, LaVern? That's not like she's a radio host. Like, I don't understand. He's like, LaVern. So that's when I called you and I said, do you need help just like finding guests or something? Because I'm just getting this message from God. Yeah. And so that's what it was. I had no intention. I am not techie.
Now, see, I thought it was more that you were just curious about the industry.
No, not at all.
I didn't get that part.
No, it was a total God idea.
That's crazy.
Which,
he's so good.
Oh, he is. But see, that's the thing is when I got here, I said, Lord, whatever you want me to do, whatever.
Yeah.
That's and so,
cool. So back to your story. I had to just interject because I just love how you just weren't planning on doing this at all.
I was not.
But it's opened other doors. And that's the same thing with me. The things that led to this, that opened up this door to get me back on radio, because I thought I was done. And I get to still do this. It's just such a gift. Mm-hmm, God's so good.
And it's so much fun. And I've met so many amazing people. Yeah, it's great. So anyways, the dance classes. So I wanted to do line dance classes because for one thing, I want to, get myself moving too. And so it's like, all right, this is the way to do it, right? Offer 4 classes a week. And there you go. Actually, there's 4 a day. So 4 on Tuesdays and 4 on Thursdays. So starting tomorrow in the morning, so there's going to be 2 classes in the morning, 8:30 to 9, and then 9 to 9:30. And then tomorrow afternoon, 4:45 to 5:15, and 5:15 to 5:45. All right, so I purposely did them in little half-hour increments so that people, I know there's a lot that is competing for our time. Oh, yeah. And so I know some people can't do a whole hour. Now, some people will want to. Like when I was taking dance lessons, I would take as many, there was one place I could take 3 hours in a row, and I would, because the more I danced, the more energy I got. Now, not everybody's that way, but at least this way, you can take a half hour. If you want to do another half hour, you can. Otherwise, you can leave and feel successful, like you completed it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we have the options. And so we have some kind of before work and some after work. And so I'm asking people to either, Facebook message me or text me or email me to let me know what time they're coming, because I got to make sure there's room for everybody.
Right.
And so I know the 5:15 one is filling up the quickest. So if you still are planning on coming to the 5:15 class tomorrow and you haven't let me know yet, please send me your name right away, because I'm making name badges now.
Okay.
And I don't want, there's a limited amount of space. I mean, it's a good sized dance floor, but it's not unlimited,
Right.
So make sure you get your name in. And, here's what the punch cards will look like. So if people want, this is a grand opening. There you go. Grand opening special.
Okay.
There you go. So the dance classes are $10 if you just buy them on their own. But if you want to buy a punch card right now for the grand opening special, you can get 12 classes for $60.
Okay.
So obviously that's $5 half price.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I can use this anytime.
Yes. Okay. So, some people might want to, maybe they're going on vacation for 2 weeks, whatever. That's okay. Just come back, just keep a hold of it. We'll mark it off every time you come. And there you go.
Well, now tell me, so you're doing line dancing. Is that the focus, is the line dancing that you're teaching?
So in this particular series of group classes, these are all line dances. Okay. And it's going to be a variety. So some people had asked, like, is it only country? Blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a variety because I want everybody to know also some of the dances, the popular ones that they're going to run into at a wedding and stuff like that. So some of those we'll do as more of a warm up because I imagine some people will already know some of those. So I'll use them as a warm up. And then the people that don't know them, they can still learn those.
Yeah.
And there will also be some original choreographed line dances as well, because we're going to try to sneak in some flash mobs.
Oh, fun.
Yes. So for those of you that don't know what flash mobs are, that is when you just go into public and bust out into a routine. Yeah. And so that's going to be super fun. So we are definitely going to do some of those.
That's going to be a blast. I'm so excited you're getting to do this. This is cool. How did this, what spawned this idea?
Well,
what happened with this? Because all of a sudden I'm like, I'm opening a dance. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, that's why it's a God thing, because literally it happened so quickly. And that's the thing. When God wants something to happen, it's going to happen.
Right.
And so this spot became available. And I hadn't told you yet where the spot is. It is right next to Crossroads Christian Bookstore. So the door immediately to the left, if you were standing in the street, is to the left, where On the Go Ministries used to be. Matter of fact, I still have to get the On the Go stickers off the window today, so I don't confuse people tomorrow. If you have any advice on getting those off, by all means, message me. But that's where it's at. So that spot became available, and I was like, really, Lord? And he's like, really? So I do have wellonthesquare.com website. It's under construction because literally I think this all happened within the month.
Yeah.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
But God does that. So I'm like,
does.
all right.
There you go. I love it. That's
and
exciting.
Of course, Facebook page, I do have Well in the Square as a Facebook page, but there's only a few postings on that right now. You're going to find most of the information right now on the Lee Marie Facebook page. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, my Facebook profile is a white circle that says rule number 1 really big on it, and then it says put God at the center of everything, because that is a reminder that for myself to do that. And so that's how you can find me on Facebook. A lot of you I know are already following me for events, because I do a lot of postings for community events here in Robertson County. But I did pin this morning. I pinned the flyer for the line dance classes. It's on the top of my Facebook page, so you can get all the information there.
Okay.
And I'll leave that with you too as well, just in case anybody asks you anything. Then you'll have that.
Well, and if you go to weddings or anything like that, guys, it is just such a blessing if you know how to celebrate and enjoy what's going on and be a part of it. And yes, and I see the I'm on your page right now, and it looks great. And it's a lot of fun. She's a great dance instructor. It's something that I want to do so very badly. I've just got knee issues, and
that's something
they just don't move right.
And that's something I wanted to bring up, because the one beauty about line dance classes is that if you have bad knees, or you don't have the stamina to do so much, you can tailor make then again, if you want more aerobic, you can do a little more bouncy. So you can tailor those moves. If you don't want to do grapevines, you can just do steps to the right, steps to the left. You don't have to do a grapevine.
What is a grapevine? I don't even know.
That's just kind of like an alternating forward and back step to the right or step to the left.
Okay.
So
you could take and get me ready to go to a wedding with simple steps that I could use to adapt to their.
Definitely.
Okay.
And then also, I did want to mention the couple classes because I am doing privates right now for couples, and so
we keep meaning to do that, and we haven't done it.
and I posted a picture of our first couple that had a private last Friday. They did fabulous. I was so proud of them. I love my students. You know, my students are like my children, and they always have been that way. You know, when I used to teach, we taught a lot of adults. But anyways, I would always call them my kids, even though sometimes they were older than me, and that's okay. They're still my kids.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, the private lessons are $30 for a half hour or $50 for a full hour. Now, if two couples want to do a group private or a semi-private, I call it, they can do that. It's just $40 a couple.
Okay.
And the two couples. And then the only last one is you can do a 3-couple private. So each couple will be $35 for the hour.
Okay.
So that makes it real affordable.
And more fun, probably, too.
Yes, and actually, you can learn a lot from watching me critique or correct someone else. A lot of times you can't see what you're doing, but it's kind of like you can see that plank in your brother's eye, right? Going, why is he stepping like that? Like, well, you were doing that too,
Yeah.
So it is a good, learning tool as well. So.
Okay. All right. We're talking with Lee Marie. She is opening up a dance studio. Of course she is. And it's on the square, and it is well on the square.
Well in the square.
Well in the square. So yes, they do have the cool little wishing well, and they've got "It Is Well With My Soul." I love that shirt. So good. Did you have those custom made, or is that one that you found that just works?
Of course, God just led me to a stack of these. So I have them hanging in the well for sale. So if people want to,
because of the song, "It Is Well With My Soul," and but that's perfect.
I know.
That is perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that shirt.
Yeah. So I'll get you one.
Okay.
So those of you that, are unsure where it's at, just go to Crossroads Christian Bookstore, and it's just to the left, and look for the wishing well in the window, which I could not believe that. I had told, Bernie and Steve.
That's her daddy-in-law.
Yes, I told them what the name of the studio was, and within 48 hours, he had that well built with the thing that turns I could. He's
her
so
mother
talented.
and father-in-law, Bernie and Steve. But he is very, very talented. That blew my mind. I saw that and I was like, oh wow. And that's really
yesterday
cool.
when he loaded it in, he said, "Now this is an original, and this is only a onesie. If this gets stolen, I'm not making it again."
It's like that was a lot of work, Lee Murray. We got you hooked up, but it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He did an excellent job on that. So that's really cool, and it's a perfect display. I'm very excited. This is cool. This is exciting for you, sweetheart, and I know it's just going to be a great blessing. So, go over the hours again for everybody.
Sure.
Just make sure everybody knows when you're open. I mean, will there be somebody there all the time? I mean, what are the particulars?
Yes, good point. So there will only be people there on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the dance classes, for the group classes. And so again, they start at 8:30. Now, please, if you can, arrive tomorrow 15 minutes early to sign the waiver, to bring your cash and check. That will make things faster. And I don't want to cut into dance time. So if you can arrive at least 15 minutes early, that will be great. I will be arriving, a half hour early at least, maybe even more, earlier. So they start tomorrow. The first class is 8:30 to 9. Second class is 9 to 9:30. And like I said, there's plenty of people that want to do the two back to back. So, you have the option. And then at night, we have 4:45 to 5:15 and then 5:15 to 5:45. So again, please arrive early. Bernie's going to help sign people in. And classes are $10 each, or you can get a punch card, a grand opening special punch card, 12 classes for only $60. Well in the Square is located at 600 South Main Street in Springfield, in the heart of the square. When you're standing outside my building and you just look slightly to the right, you will see the beautiful historic courthouse. So we are right there, very easy to find. My information, of course, the best thing is on Facebook, but if you don't do Facebook, you can text me or email me. My text is 714-925-2689. Again, that is 714-925-2689. Or you can email me at retroleemarie@gmail.com. Again, that is retroleemarie@gmail.com.
So very good. It's exciting. I'm so excited for you. So first lessons tomorrow. If you want to be a part of it, you need to message her. She's very good. I've taken some lessons from her, and I'm going to get back in there. Just got to get my knees wet.
You got to.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been doing the exercise helps the joints, and so
yes, it lubricates.
Strengthen. Well, and it just strengthens the muscles around the joints too. And so I've been stepping up my exercise a little bit, and I can tell a difference. So I just, and being a teacher now, we have pep rallies and things like that, and we have this wonderful teacher, Miss McCullough. I just absolutely love her. She's new, and she gets out and dances with the kids. And we had prom this past weekend, and she was out dancing with the kids. Of course, she's the age of my children too, so she's much younger than me, but it's still in my spirit. I want to be able to celebrate with my kiddos in my class. Yeah. And so I would love to be able to learn to do just some of those basic things. And I tease her, I'm like, I gotta get my knees working better, and I want you to teach me some of these moves.
Well, and it's true.
I used to be a good dancer.
Yeah, you got rhythm. And the thing is it's true. If you don't use it, you lose it.
You better believe
and you can lose it fast.
You better believe it.
So you got to get in there. And if you have some friends that you're like, I want them to go with me, I don't want to go by myself. This 10 benefits of dancing, I posted this also on the Well in the Square Facebook page and also on my Facebook. And it's very good. I mean, it talks about all of the mental and physical benefits to dancing.
Read through those, and then I'll do my last break. Go through them. You maybe just give the highlights.
Okay.
Highlights. The benefits, the 10 benefits of dancing. Go for it.
All right. So I'm just going to give the bold part, and then you guys can read.
That sounds good.
Okay. So Forever Young, strong bones, lubricated joints, calorie blaster, better blood, mental mastery, improves balance, socially satisfying, culturally diverse, groomed to perfection, and a happy self.
I love it.
Okay. So, there you have it. And I posted this also on the window along with my dance bio, so you can see what I have been in and kind of what my credentials are. So, and I do have a warning, because there are 2 side effects that are very common. And that is, one of them is that you're going to make a lot of new friends.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it just happens in dance class. I'm sorry. Okay, another side effect is it really does cut depression and anxiety. Very good. There you go.
There you go. There's a couple of side effects, man.
Yeah, a couple side effects.
Yeah, sounds like good ones, though. I love it. And this is my friend, Lee Marie Astaire, and it is, Well on the Square.
Well in the Square.
Well in the Square.
Well, you can just call it the Well. You can just call it the Well if you want.
Well
with my soul. It all works.
Well in the Square, and it's right next to the Bible bookstore, Crossroads, my favorite store on the Square.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll just be starting to call it the Well, because there was just a lot of wells out there, so I had to pick something with a little more detail. So I put Well in the Square.
Well in the Square.
But you can certainly call it the Well.
You want to be well in the Square, and you can do it. Okay.
And then the little punch cards say "Dance at the Well." So
I like it. Dance at the Well 2024. I love it. Good stuff. I'm excited for you, my sweet friend. Hang on, we'll say bye here in just a second. But we want to talk about Cumberland Connect. Or if you have got terrible internet, oh my goodness, what are you waiting for, guys? If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, you do not have to suffer with the terrible internet connection any longer. They here in Robeson County, I think they've got most of us here in Robeson County, the availability of Cumberland Connect. They're still working in some of the areas in Sumner, because people forget Cumberland Electric, they service. When I lived in Hendersonville briefly, I had to come down here to Springfield to turn my power on back in 1989, something like that. And who knew I was going to be just living up the street one day from that location. But nonetheless, they service areas outside of Robeson County. So they're getting close to getting everybody where they have the availability. All you have to do is make the phone call and say, hey, are you in my neighborhood? If you can go to 800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362, give them your address, and they'll say, yeah, we're ready to come and knock on your door. You can get a gig for $80, guys. I was paying $65 from AT&T for terrible internet. That's just the truth. $80 now, I have an entire gig. I turned everything else off. All I have is internet. I don't have phone lines, any of that. I do call boosting through my internet. And even when the power goes down, I still have internet because I have a generator. It's crazy. It's awesome. It is fabulous, and you are going to love working with them. They got a great service department. They've got the Affordable Connectivity Program. You could get up to $30 per month if you're a qualifying household to help pay for broadband services. They've got packages starting at just $30 per month. Amazing packages too. Get in touch with them today. The web location. Website. I couldn't get my words out, Lee Marie. Thank you. The website. CumberlandConnect.org, CumberlandConnect.org, or that phone number 800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. Always please let them know that U-Turn sent you. Lee Marie's in the house. Wrap us up, my sweet friend.
All right, so I just want to say it does not matter if you have had zero dance experience, that is okay. Mm-hmm. So don't think that like, oh, I don't know this or that. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very loving environment. I am very patient because I know it took me a while to learn. People learn at a different rate. So don't worry if you don't learn things real quick. This is a safe place to be.
Yeah, for sure. Starting tomorrow, come and learn to dance, be a dancer, refresh your dancing skills, and get all the benefits of dancing and just get in shape and do all of those things. It's a wonderful opportunity. I'm very excited for you, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And we'll keep talking about it. And yes, enjoy these new digs here, these lovely studio that Ebenezer Broadcasting ILU. I know you were probably in here working all weekend, bless your heart. So that's all we got. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope you'll join us tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Hallelujah.